Hi guys, today is going to be something a little bit different. Um, I want to show you a sort of 15-minute ritual that you can do maybe in the beginning of the day or before you go to bed, because beyond the physical practice of yoga, what it can help you with as well is working through questions. We are living in a very confusing time, and sometimes you're wondering, why am I angry? Why am I afraid? And what am I afraid of? And it can be terribly intimidating to find the answers to these questions. But what you can do is to pose them and to kind of allow your whole body and your mind and yourself to get a chance to work through them. And that's what we're going to do today. As you can see, I don't have my mat today because you don't need a mat to practice yoga. You don't need Lululemon. And just again, allow yourself to comfortably sit on the floor, just arriving here in your practice, allowing the focus to slowly ripple inward and eventually closing the eyes. Finding that breath, the first partner in your practice. Notice how when you breathe in, it's like the spine is finding more space, and with the exhales, you ground down. And see if with the next exhale, you can allow the jaw to soften. And when the jaw is relaxed, the lips are usually slightly parted, ready to make sound. The moment you do it, you may find yourself feeling peculiarly vulnerable because as adults, we're so careful what we allow ourselves to say, and so our jaws are always tightly shut, allowing it to open, almost like you're opening yourself to receive, a little bit like a child, like your mouth is hanging open in awe. And now that the breath has slowed down a little bit, just asking yourself, how do I feel? We go through life pretending like everything's okay, but in this moment, just be honest with yourself. How do I feel? Accepting anger, accepting grief, accepting anything and everything. And whether or not you have a name for this emotion, finding the sensation that it brings in your body, where does it live? For me right now, the sensation feels like there are little pools of water in my heart and in my lungs. Allowing that image to be there. Sitting with the emotion, not pushing it away. And wherever you are, we're going to open the door to our practice together. Even if we're in different parts of the world, even if we're not even practicing together at the same time, we are in a room together, and we're going to breathe together, inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Going back to your own breath. Checking in a little bit with that sensation in your body, that sensorial manifestation. Does it feel different? With the next inhale, taking your hands all the way up above your head. And exhale, bringing your palms to your heart center. And beginning with that question that you're grappling with. Not needing to answer it, just posing the question. If you'd like joining me for an Om, and with the sound of Om, imagining the membranes of your body breaking, becoming one with the rest of the universe. For Om, yogis, breathe in. Namaste. Gently, gently opening the eyes. Good. And just finding a few rounds of cat and cow in the seated position, breathing in, opening the heart, tilting the head up, again allowing that jaw to fall open. Exhale all the way back, rounding the back. A few more again at your own pace. Really finding the individuality of your practice. Tuning in with how the body feels. And whatever your body says it feels is right. There's no way that you're supposed to feel. Really trusting that intuition. Good. And tipping over onto the right, opening the side of the body. Noticing the space in those ribs opening up. And over onto the other side. This time, meeting up in a gentle tabletop position. Again, taking a few rounds of cat and cow and allowing those cats and cows to be a little bit loose. So that means, maybe you want to bring this cat a little bit back and kind of pivot around, making circles, allowing it to do that. Again, moving however way you like. There's no wrong way. What we're doing is just warming up the spine and tuning into that flow of impulse in our bodies. Nice. And just tucking your toes, lifting your knees up to a sort of floating tabletop. Noticing how in the floating tabletop, you can move your weight forward and to the side and back. So if the legs get tired, the hands can work more. The right side gets tired, the left side can take over. All in balance with each other and constantly dynamic. And lifting your hips up to your first downward facing dog. Again, allowing this dog to stay dynamic and to move around. flowing forward to a plank. Maybe lifting one hand up and the other hand up. Again, allowing movement to flow through you. All of the small ways in which your body wants to move. Basically, you're telling your body, what do you want? That desire is valid. Let's make it happen. Lowering down your knees. Lowering down your chest and chin, your bum sticking out. Up to a cobra. Again, opening up that chest and the throat. Allowing the shoulders to relax. Tucking your toes back to downward facing dog. Breathing in up to your tippy toes. Exhale, grounding down. Breathing in up to your tippy toes. Exhale, grounding down. Flowing forward, plank. Again, keeping this plank moving. Lowering down your knees. Lower down to your chest, or if you'd like, keeping that back straight, half chaturanga. Cobra. And tucking your toes back to downward facing dog. Find how you can seamlessly move from downward facing dog to floating tabletop. And we're just going to stay in either of these positions, again, allowing yourself to move around for about 30 breaths. And just really being curious about how that downward facing dog is going to change throughout some time. And I'm going to provide a provocation, which is that downward facing dog or floating tabletop is not a physical pose. So that means you can physically take a break while staying in that pose. Again, just focusing on the breath, allowing the pose to change, tuning into every sensation, not judging it if there's anything that's shaking, there's anything that's tired. Just listening and adapting. And I'll keep count on my side how many breaths it's been, just to help us keep track. And if those breaths become longer or shorter, that's okay. Allow the body to adapt how to breathe. 10. Making the choice not to suffer. Pain may present itself. Your shoulders may be tired, your legs might be tired. Discomfort, perhaps, is a better word for it. But don't suffer, don't wallow in the pain. Suffering is a choice. If you need, again, keeping it dynamic so that your body can last longer. 20, 10 more breaths. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Closing your eyes. Maybe moving through a vinyasa or going into child's pose. Noticing the breath at the base of the spine. Noticing the blood moving through parts of the body differently than when you were holding downward facing dog. And slowly, slowly, taking your time with your eyes closed, perhaps moving through any stretches or any poses you need before going back up to a seated position facing the front of the room. Taking your time, gently meeting back up here, tuning into your breath. And tuning in to the physical manifestation, the sensorial manifestation of that emotion you had. Is it there? Has it changed? Breathing in, taking your hands all the way up. Exhale, bringing your palms to your heart center. And gently, gently, posing that question back to yourself. And all together, imagine that right in front of you is a mirror. And with your eyes still closed, imagining that you are looking at yourself. And silently or in a whisper, just telling yourself, I am enough. I'm loved enough. I have enough. Once again, I am enough. I am loved enough. And I have enough. If you'd like, joining me for an Om. For Om yogis, breathe. Feeling a sense of gratitude and excitement for all the questions you are asking today. Thanking all the fellow yogis who in different times and different spaces are sharing this practice with you. Namaste.